Good morning, Hickory Sunrise.
Good morning, sir.
Please join with me in honoring our country. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dr. Wimberly.
Thank you, Father, again for giving me the opportunity to represent you at this table. Thank you for being a part of, allowing me to be a part of a group of people that when I was asked somebody's name, I called them brother and sister. May we continue to do service above self and follow the mantra that you gave us, you first, and then treat other people like we want to be treated. The best includes Steve and I eat and other people. May we use to nourish my body by Christ's sake. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, sir. Good honeycut.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Rotarians.
Good morning.
How's everyone this morning?
Great morning, Mr. Honeycutt.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. We have, you notice, Ron Leach is back.
Yeah.
What's the matter with his back?
We're glad to see you.
Good to be here.
Okay,
Good to be seen.
did you check the perimeter coming in?
I did, and I didn't notice any LSU Tigers entering the
All right, that's
So we're safe.
good. We're safe, all right.
Nobody else is, but we are.
Sounds great. All right, good deal. Reminder, Jake's Food.
Got it.
Okay, good deal. And at this point, I need to ask several questions now. I'm not sure how to handle this, but first, Richard, you do have an announcement this morning. All right, would you go ahead with yours?
Again, I just want to remind everybody the 25th is a Saturday this month that we are meeting again to be there at 9:30. I talked to Ron about helping with the bread, which Ron always does. We've already got socks again, and we've got some toiletry stuff from Austin Pierce, and we're looking into some throws for them as well, and G and I will get some food for the bags for the families. And so we do need your crock pot of soup, whatever that may be, and then come and help make the sandwiches and clean up. Also, I talked to somebody about the drinks too, to see if I can, and I think I got the drinks already taken care of as well. So it looks like we're in good shape.
Good
So
deal.
25th, at least 9:30. Christ Lutheran Church in Hickory. Meet you need.
Do you
Sounds
have
good.
the bowls and spoons and everything?
I'm sorry.
Do you have the bowls and spoons and
I got it all. You just bring your pot.
All right, good deal. Richard, thank you. What kind of pot are you talking about?
A pot to,
Oh, okay, just clarify. All right. All right,
a pot.
Bob Steiger, we're glad to see you this morning.
How you doing, Bob?
Speak for yourself. All right, do you have any announcements, anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I need $1 for not having an announcement.
Yep.
And being asked for.
That's right. That's it.
That hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
But you know he was doing just a minute ago. I had a dollar in my hand. You know he's doing like this. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Mr. Honeycutt, I'll take Bob's down. I'll pay for
Oh, all right, good deal.
I will tell you the reason I wasn't here. I feel obligated to tell my brothers and sisters that my sister's got a pretty serious, sister-in-law's got a pretty serious disease. She's got brain cancer. She was diagnosed in March of last year. However, when they were at Winston having treatment about a month ago, their apartment burned.
Wow.
So they've been in my basement for the last 30 days. So it's kind of hard having two families in one house, but we survived. We got moved over the weekend, and glad to be back. Thank you for your prayers. I appreciate that too.
Glad to have you back. Okay, good deal. All right, Phil Trick, I
Yes, sir.
understand that you were to put money in the pot and you could speak, according to Michael Wimberly. Is there something that you need to say?
Steve, huh?
Steve, I'm getting to Steve. All right, Phil, do you have anything?
Just that I'm so happy to be here this morning and to offer you money for fines, because I'm sure you've.
Well, we'll handle that. I'll get. All right,
You
Steve.
can run a tab.
Steve, I
everything?
have some concerns. I don't know how to handle this, so please bear with me. Okay, Steve sent out a spreadsheet. Did you look at the spreadsheet, you know, where you sign up and you identify your information on that sheet? Well, it's not Word. I don't know anything else. I couldn't spread it, but I did work on it to kind of get mine in. Steve, is there any issues in this spreadsheet that you had issues with?
Well, those of you who know my assistant, she's very efficient and does a very fine job for us. She was a little upset when she got this.
Oh, no.
You know, she's busy planning for our Selma trip. Black Angels over to Stevie. She saw somebody said cross bee pollination and their occupation was a needle point or something like that. She,
Yes, that is correct.
yeah,
I have it. May I add to this?
please.
Okay, all right, when you put your data in there, Michael Wimberly had put in his hobby. All right, I got it right here, highlighted in yellow, sewing and needlepoint. All right.
No.
Oh, yes, it is. You can pull it up on the internet, sewing and needlepoint as a hobby.
That ain't nothing to be ashamed of.
No. That's the problem. But you might want to check, it is on that spreadsheet. Now, I don't know who did that. All right. Now, Richard Tucker, all right, I have one, did you find one for Richard?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Cross bees.
cross-pollinating bees, what in the dickens is cross-pollinating bees?
Say that
Don't look
so.
over here at me. Don't, look over there.
I have been cross-pollinating bees, I have. Actually, what happened is, I've
Hey, we
got,
don't need a dissertation.
Is it true or not?
Yeah, just pay your fine.
And then ask them where they went.
yeah,
And they left you, didn't they?
I did.
They leave you for a better big pop.
Kenny, they come back.
Actually, back. I've never seen anything.
And what's that saying? If you love something, set it free.
All right,
Like that in a pimp.
but in your hobby,
Only
it
here.
I
has,
didn't put that in there.
well, it's in there.
I didn't put it in there.
Well, it's there, cross-pollinating bees.
So
Wow.
you said you're a bee pimp?
All right, at 6:15 last night, I was at the computer trying to get a few notes down. Someone passed my house blowing the damn horn. Okay. Richard Tucker, were you responsible anyway for passing my house blowing the horn?
Raise your hand.
It was
I
about,
was,
Raise your hand.
I was,
Sunday's coming.
I was a part of that.
you were a part of it,
Only a part of that. As a matter of fact, I was in the passenger seat.
okay? But you were with someone else.
I was with someone else.
All right, confession time. What color truck was it?
For what?
And what color truck was it?
You didn't say truck.
I'm saying truck. Or vehicle.
Don't
Was
be
it
a
truck?
rat. Yeah. be a
Which
rat.
time?
Give me $1.
So we're,
I tell you,
committee members, you need to tell us where his house is.
it's amazing what you have to get through. It is amazing. Get all that stuff.
Yeah, we all want to.
I don't want to know what Wayne's address.
Yeah, we'd like Wayne's address.
Well, I know
All
what.
right, good deal.
We want Wayne's
Anyone else?
address.
Anyone
I'll
else?
give it.
Have any announcements? You
Yeah,
like to
Holy
bring up?
Trinity Church.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, right.
Across the street from.
Steve,
Close to it. If you start honking when you get into church, just keep going.
just talk on through.
Michael has the floor.
You want to tell him, Steve? You don't want to tell him? Just give him $5 and I'll tell the story. Put your $5 right there. Okay.
That's embezzlement.
So, no, this is the truth. That's the other stuff.
Extortion.
Yeah.
Steve, my brother, he helped me get some furniture, which I appreciated. But while we're getting the furniture, he's sitting there. Now, I can't sit like that. I sit like, I can cross my legs like this. I can't cross my legs like that. You know, like this.
Like a woman.
So we went there talking, and the lady who was your coworker and friend, am I correct?
Used to be.
She said that why? I said, Steve, why you cross your legs like that? And then she said, well, you mean cross it like a girl? Ooh. And then we look back and guess whose leg was crossed like a girl? Say it ain't so.
I just want to see him do it. I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
All right.
You get this.
Well, if he's gonna hang around with somebody that does needlepoint, what do you want?
Oh, man.
All right. But anyway, he said, he told the
Get this
lady,
group under control.
he told the lady that when I said it's gonna cost him $5, and he said, I'll bring it with me. Didn't you say that, Steve?
Yes.
Or give them $5.
Okay, did you
I
say $5?
gotta chime in here, fellas. It just makes you a well-rounded human being. To
Oh.
be able to sew, be limber, do needlework, you're missing out.
The only thing you need is a
All
finger.
right. Move on.
What about pollination?
It's getting out of hand. We talking about
Pollination
pollination. Steve, what you $5?
That's two of the five.
Yeah. Well,
She didn't get up to you.
they will just pay for other people, so you got $5 in this.
I'm not
It's a
sure
struggle.
which day it was when I lost total control of this club. I'm gonna go back and check. Very one.
July 1st.
Nancy has it now.
Just a quick announcement. So Cedric, my big dog, that's bigger than Jake, had his surgery yesterday at NC State. We took him Monday, and they said that it went well, and they got a good surgery, and he was awake and was doing okay. So hopefully he'll come home Thursday.
What kind of company?
He
Glad to
is
hear
a
that.
Bernese
What
Mountain
kind?
Dog,
Oh,
and he was 150 pounds, but they wanted him to lose weight before the surgery, so we put him on a reducing plan, so he weighed 141.8.
Nutrisystem for dogs.
He got a little less food, he was not happy, but he lost a little
Good
bit
deal.
of weight. before
Was the
the
surgery done in Hickory or?
It was done at NC State, because he's too big to have it done anywhere.
All right, good deal. All yours.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. I've had some comments of folks who have seen the video of our Wayne's World things, and it's a hit for a lot of folks. And I think I told you before, it was mentioned that when I went there, Tiffany made mention of the fact that Hickory Sunrise Sergeant at Arms starts off each meeting in a very funny, positive way, gets us going. And thank you, Wayne, appreciate it. And I've been asked to send your address out so people know where to go to honk a horn. So,
Oh, good. Well, I tell you what, someone is really blowing the horn.
Mr. Klontz has 2 days.
If a horn breaks or not, right?
Right.
See, I lost control again. I hate when that happens. Kenny, you have today's program.
Okay, I know y'all are disappointed that I'm not Matt the Benedetto,
Yeah.
but he.
So's he.
You have changed for 20.
He contacted me and he said he will come this year, but right now, he said he gets maybe one day at home. And it wasn't gonna be spent here this morning. But I was looking, I can remember one of the first Rotary meetings that I went to was at the soup kitchen. Downtown Hickory, had to move it up there. I think they were closed during the summer or something. And at that time, they talked about a shelter box. That's how long it's been. I don't know how long I've even been in the Rotary. 6 months. But at the time, they were talking about a shelter box. Well, it dawned on me after seeing the devastation at that school in South Carolina. You know, how many people did that affect in that area? And I know everybody that was in this town when Hugo came through, it affected you big. I mean, I was without power for 10 days. I couldn't imagine losing my home and everything else. Now, I had family I could go to. Some people don't have family they can go to. So I'm gonna make this short and sweet this morning. I got this not thrown at me, but I got told by Matt yesterday evening late. I went in and printed this out. I've already started this. I've got a backpack sprayer. I've got a real nice park bench. I'm trying to get a TV or something from Walmart. These boxes cost $1,000. I'll do everything. I'll get the prizes and everything else. I will print the tickets. I want to sell 200 tickets at $5 a piece for this draw. There's over 20 of us in here. If I give y'all 10 tickets a piece, we all sell them and we'll do this.
Absolutely. I will.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what I was going to, that's the reason I sent these out. The shelter boxes come with a big tent for shelter. It comes with a water purifier, comes with lights, batteries, other essentials. I mean, just think about what you would do if you couldn't go right outside this door and get you a drink of water this morning.
Kenny, can we deliver it?
No.
Okay.
Shelter box, that's what you should.
You
I mean,
can,
we
you
can have
can,
the
you can
10.
request it be sent to a specific location, but they'll ship it from their inventory.
But can't we have Rotary Club of Hickory Sunrise? I think I've
I
seen
think
that.
you can label.
I can make a
Yes.
decal to go on.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
absolutely.
yeah.
But we don't know where it's going.
No.
Okay.
If you have a chance to go to the year-end assembly of the Rotary District 7670, they always have had one of those set up, and you will be astounded. You can look at it and say, I could live in that. I could live in that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But just pull it up on the internet and look at some of the places it's gone and what it does for people. Like I said, it's nothing but a simple thing of just, and I'm even gonna put, you know, what on the ticket.
Do you remember the mudslides in Mexico a few years ago? There are people there now, still living in those shoulder box tents.
You said you don't know, did somebody say you don't know where it's going?
You can ask for it to go a specific place. You won't know till they're shipped where yours may have gone.
But we can't get it.
They publish where they're actively supporting need.
All right, where is this coming from?
Hmm?
Is it, I know London at one point overseas, but where is it in the US?
I don't know.
I think it's Tennessee.
I don't.
They are some of the first people on site with aid when there are natural disasters. And they're, within hours, they're in motion getting stuff in place. It's a truly remarkable organization.
And they're having the earthquake and all the aftershocks.
Yep.
And,
Puerto Rico could use it.
yeah, right now.
You betcha.
But like I didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare for this, you know, to get it finished. Like I say, I've already got Lawrence gave me the backpack sprayer. Lowe's donated it's a real nice bench. And I've got contact in with Walmart now to get it to me. And if you can't get people to buy $5 tickets for, you know, and like I say, the information will be on here what it goes for.
Okay.
So it should sell itself.
So you got $5 ticket when we sell them.
If we sell 200 $5 tickets, it's paid for itself.
I mean, when we sell them.
Each of us, how many we each one of us?
If each purchase sells 10 tickets.
So $50.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay. And I've always been this, my entire life, short and sweet. So,
Yeah, right.
but I will have the tickets within the next 2 weeks.
Good.
They'll be numbered 1 through 200. I'm not going to put a date for a drawing on there. I'm going to put the drawing will be held at one of the Sunrise Rotary meetings, and it will be on Facebook.
Okay.
So if anybody would like to see it, oh Lord.
Oh, Lord, $5.
Lena.
Oh, okay. It was Hershey. You're fine.
That's my sister.
Kenny, I think it's something, and Mr. President, I'm sorry, Jim, I didn't see your hand.
Are all of these the same? All these silver boxes are the same?
I think I think that they, in some instances, they change it up. I may be wrong. They don't.
I think they're all the same thing.
They're all the same.
Thermal blankets go every
Oh, yeah,
place?
now, yeah, I may be speaking out of turn. They were all the same when they originally started.
It's amazing what's in that box.
Yeah.
And how little it is.
Pants, yeah.
It shows, well, I had it printed out. The box is not big at all. And when it gets done, it looks like a 600 square foot house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come in a big heavy plastic, like a huge truck.
I want to see one on its way. You can look at that. That's a shoulder box being carried into a Cameroon camp.
So do you think we need to hit our other clubs in the county?
Well,
especially selling the tickets and all.
I am meeting with the two Hickory presidents tomorrow afternoon, and I'll mention it to them.
That would be great if they'd all
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
You know, and again, we may very well sell enough to send to.
If each club.
We have in the past, who used to be, was it Rob Conrad?
Yes.
Used to be shoulder box champion.
Yes.
And we used to send two.
Well, I mean, there's no problem, they can rent 400 tickets.
Well, I'll talk to the two other Hickory presidents tomorrow afternoon, see if they're interested, and if so, I'll let you know, we'll print more if necessary.
Absolutely.
And this is a 501c, just in case anybody asks.
It is an NGO that is a charity.
Any other questions for Kenny? Kenny, first of all, thank you for taking the initiative to think of something like this, and this is perfect. For taking the time to print these up also, and for the legwork on getting some prizes that can be raffled off. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that very much, and it's a great thing for us to get involved in. We were years ago, and no reason for us not to do it again. Thank you very much.
To answer Jim's question, Rotary Shoulder and Shoulder Box are project partners, but Shoulder Box is a registered charity independent of Rotary International.
I'm on their website, and they do offer different items in the shoulder box depending on the need.
Yeah,
the
location. And prevailing.
I thought when we were down at the Bears Lair downstairs, somebody brought a box.
I think it's Bill Lair.
Bill Lair bought
He's been
Yeah,
the
okay.
champion in Hickory.
All right, good, okay.
Yeah.
And if Bill Lair brought it, and I'm meeting with him tomorrow, I'm sure he'll get behind this. I could twist his arm and say, we'll do Rise Against Hunger if you do, if you do the shelter box.
You wanna take these with you, Rick?
Yeah, I'll take a couple, yeah, thank you. Be glad
So
to.
they do make different, okay.
Different boxes depending on what the need is in that location. Sometimes it's tin, sometimes it's
Excellent.
materials that they carry around.
You wouldn't send cold weather gloves to Cameroon,
Thermal blankets.
or thermal blankets.
Mr. President,
Sir,
may I?
yes, sir.
I just want to ask the club. I was a year younger when we gave Terry and Tucker the brick.
And your question is?
And that's not moved. And so,
It's been moved.
so what shall we do? He does
Hey,
not.
next week I'll bring it up.
He does not
Okay.
seem to want to bring it.
Well, I've got a problem right there.
What he's doing finally is at least showing it.
Yeah, that's
You know,
right.
he had it hidden for a while.
Right.
But now he's
started
admitting-
asking and holding people accountable, and I mean, you know, I'm another year older, and he's still got.
And ugly too.
Deeper in there. Well, Mr. Tucker, we look forward to your guest next week.
Next week, you'll be there next week.
Okay.
You will.
Phil?
Speaking of Rise Against Hunger, do we have a date for that?
Yes. Oh, you want it?
Yeah. That would be good. Yeah, it was a simple question.
While he's digging that up, the question that was asked, can you tell where the box should go? Notify Shoulder Box if a region should be assessed after a disaster to identify needs for temporary housing and other aid. So you notify them, and then they'll make the connection with the target location.
But will they tell you that yes, it's going here, or yes, it's
They
going
don't
here?
indicate that.
Okay.
Rise Against Hunger is March 21st. I want to talk a little bit about the Black Angels over at Tuskegee. Steve, I think you sent a link to buy tickets.
I did.
Yep.
Did I forward that to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
It's real easy. I purchased a couple. I'm going to look through my box of pictures, which I used to know where they were, but my wife and I, we decided to recarpet the entire home and repaint, so everything came out of the room and went in the garage. And little by little, things are getting back into places, but the garage is still full of pictures. But I have a picture of a Tuskegee airman who was a speaker at Grandview Middle School when I was superintendent. And you know, to actually see one of these pilots in person is breathtaking. I mean, it's history right in front of you. And I urge you to please consider buying tickets or buy a ticket for somebody else to attend. It's at PE Monroe, so it's you can fit a few hundred people in there. And anything else you want to add to that?
Well, the
sir?
proceeds will help us, a portion of it will help us make a trip to Selma that we take a group of students to every year. And the theme every year is, it was a life-changing experience. So we don't ever want to stop
Yeah.
doing
And
that.
you talk about history. I was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia during the march.
Okay.
And
March 7th, 1965.
Yep. Yeah, I was there. And
Does anybody get Facebook regularly? Yesterday, they posted a picture of the new interceptor fighter plane that the Air Force is procuring, and it's been named after the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah. Really? I spent the day, Rick, with that airman that came
Really?
out of Randy.
okay, that's cool.
And just to hear his story and hear him talk about it. And we take students by the airfield and the museum that's in Tuskegee as well.
How many of those gentlemen are still living?
I really don't know. Probably 2 or 3.
Sounds
No, a
like a
few years
handful.
ago,
You know, we had them at CVCC.
a few years ago, they had one at the airport when they had a demonstration out there.
Right. Yeah, we had them at CVCC probably 6 or 8 years ago.
Thank you, Steve. Last week we mentioned something about a diversity committee. Who brought that up?
Never heard of it.
Rhino.
Yeah, must have, because he says he's never heard of it. He's heard of everything. It's not a thing he doesn't know something about. Right? So, is this something that the district is doing, or help me understand again why we brought that up?
They're down to one, Willie Rogers.
Okay.
101. Oh, he died at 101. The last surviving original member.
Okay, so he's deceased?
Yeah, just November.
So
Yeah.
nobody.
Anyhow, DEI, diversity and engagement and inclusion, has been 6, 7 years an active Rotary concept, Rotary International concept, has not been picked up by the domestic districts in the U.S. There are now, I think, 6 of us that have embraced this concept. And District 7670 has formed a committee to increase diversity and engagement. The chairman is the lady Gaia, is the immediate past president of Rotary Asheville. There are on the standing committee now 8 of us that have met once by Zoom, and we will be meeting tonight at 7 o'clock on Zoom, and I will link Steve, Roger, and Cinda to that so that they can get in by Skype. I'll send you the link information. The idea is that the DEI chair will become a chair just like the Rotary Foundation chair or the secretary or sergeant. It'll be a recognized chair within a club. And we have one club member who has agreed to stand up for that. And shows you how you can trick the new ones, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Cinda said she would be glad to chair that committee, and Steve and Roger, by acclamation, have agreed to sit in too, if at the very least for what they can contribute, which would not be the least, I'm sure. We want to see it take off. We want to see it be a reality and a force within Rotary itself. And I think in favor of that, if you remember, we used to be able to claim to be the most diverse club in 76-70. Now we lost our Lady Arab, we lost our African Ugandan. Anyhow, we need to get back to that. and it's a claim we should be able to make, and it's a claim that is worthy of our character. And so we want to see that chair take hold and the activity become a reality within the club, within the district. So.
Thanks, Rhino. And my undying gratitude to Cinda. I overheard her talking to Steve as I was walking out last week, saying she wanted to be part of it, of the committee. And so when I typed up my message, I made her the chair.
Congratulations.
I don't know why I did, but she agrees. But thank you for those of you who want to serve on that. And you're right, we were extremely diverse, a whole lot more diverse. But once we had a president who was a female from Bangladesh, you know, and you know, we were, when we were meeting downstairs way back when, we were in many United Nations there for a while. But thank you, and this we will add that to the front of the bulletin as far as positions and stuff. And, grateful for that. I'll get back in fundraising. I want to be thinking about fundraising again. When we sit down to do the budget for next year, which we will do on probably a Saturday morning in Steve's office, when we go over all the items, when we do that, and I might meet with Glenn ahead of time as we did before, so I'll have information prior to that. I know we want to include in projected income money from Oktoberfest. And we made almost $3,000 this year from that. And I know we can go over $5,000 at least if we are granted that site solely for our club, which I've already talked to them. I put it in writing and everything, and they said they'll definitely talk about it. My concern is that the bigger venue where the main stage was, where some of you guys went down there and volunteered and worked down there, that thing has been leveled. That's no longer there. And I don't know what the Hickory Downtown Association is going to do about a second location for the beer sales. I cannot believe that the site in which we worked, some of us worked there, is going to be the only site. It's just not big enough to handle the big crowds. I don't know where it's going to go. So until then, I don't know what the Downtown Association may simply be waiting to see what happens before they grant it to us.
If you get a chance to suggest they go across the tracks and use the parking lot opposite the post office.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, and that would be, and that would be big enough. It'd be close enough, and it could be a very easy thing for them to do. But anyway, I just want you to be aware, we cannot necessarily guarantee that as projected income, but we want to be thinking about and to continue to think about fundraising ideas. And our next club assembly, we'll just put stuff on the board up there
And the
talk
dance
more
is
about
still
it.
on.
Sir?
The dance is still on.
Yeah, oh yeah, we definitely, I talked to the band leader the other day who wanted me to ask y'all about changing the 31st. Y'all said no. I told him no. He said that's fine. That the other group that wanted to play the 24th, he'll play for them on 31st. So we still got it. And we'll use this event as a determinant of whether we're going to do it in the future again. But we're going to publicize it earlier. We're going to work hard to get items for silent auction and so on and so forth. Okay.
So when will we have shelter box tickets?
Sir.
When will we have shelter box tickets?
As soon as I find out from Rick whether the print 400 or 200.
Okay, fair enough. And I'll ask the guys tomorrow. In today's bulletin, from the president part, I was looking through last month's Rotary magazine, and there was a big section on Rotarians responding to the statement, what it's like to. And I thought I'd like you to consider from time to time at the end of a meeting, one or two of you sharing what it's like to. That helps us get to know each other a little bit better. And I'd like to be the first today, at least, and any other people can join in if you want to. And I was going to talk about what it's like to almost be eaten by sharks. But, and I may save that for another time. But when we started talking about Selma and me being in Columbus, Georgia in 1965, I do have a what it's like to that hit me upside the head big time. I was stationed, I was in the Air Force, but I was assigned to the Army. And I was stationed at Fort Benning. All of the Air Force supplies that we needed were in Montgomery, Alabama, at the Air Force base there. So periodically, we had to travel to Montgomery to get supplies. My roommate was an African-American kid from New Orleans. He was 24 when I was 18. And so he and I got the company car to go to Montgomery to get supplies. Midday, kind of hungry. I want to stop for lunch.
1965.
1965.
Okay.
And actually, this was 64. When I was about 19 then. And he and I are driving, and we're hungry, and so I pulled into roadside diner, cafe, whatever, and to get out, I said, come on, let's go get some lunch, and he just sat there. Come on, Willie, let's go get some lunch, I'm hungry. And he just looked at me like I was the dumbest guy in the world. I'm 19, I'm from New York, what do I know? And then it dawned on me, he can't go in there. And I didn't know what to do. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what, I can't tell you what I did. I think I went in and got food for us to go, but I don't remember. I just know that the realities of life finally hit me. That, you know, I'm not from Kansas anymore. It was a different world back then. And what it's like to feel, and my comment is, what it's like to feel that the world has changed as you're sitting in a car. And I'll never forget that. Okay. Anybody else want to share anything? We don't have to today, but to be thinking of how you might respond to what it's like to. And I'll tell you one about the shark sometime if you want it. It's a funny one. Any other items for discussion for the good of the congregation here? Hearing none, Mr. Hunt.
Of the things we think, say, or do, is the truth. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Cheers, everyone. Have a great day.